So today I'd like to share with you the book Niña Violeta. This is Niña Violeta. Niña Violeta is a part of our biography series that we've been featuring all month long. Like I said, La Niña Violeta and these other books are all a part of our biography guided reading set. So we call them a guided reading set because they're intended for small group instruction. It's a content instruction. So the reading level is not so minute or pointed as our other books because of the fact that the focus is on content. So this is a book for 3rd grade, 4th grade, or 5th grade. I'm going to point out a few things about the content for you to judge if you think it's who you think it's most appropriate for in terms of level because of the content of it. And then you'll see too some of the text. It is a nonfiction text. It reads like a narrative, and it is informative. So that means that it fits under the Common Core Standard informative rung 9. It's one that you can compare and contrast, and biographies are a great one to do for that. Different themes in the books. In addition to being a biography, it also deals with art and culture and women in history. So, wait no further, here is the book La Niña Violeta. So the book is about Violeta Parra's life, and one of the reasons that it's, the text isn't that complex in terms of words, but like, so for example, it says, La pequeña Violeta vive rodeada de la música. So that's not a super complex sentence, but because she lives around the music, it makes her story, she's definitely an artist, and so her story is the story of an artist. So if you're not familiar with the end of Violeta's life, she committed suicide, and so they don't say that explicitly, but they do share her pains throughout life, and they do try to be explicit about that. And here you go. This is the first place where they start talking about it. It says, Nadie conoció su secreto. Que salvó su muñeca de atrapo que siempre está con ella. So she really felt she had this muñeca always with her, and that is kind of the symbolism of her always feeling kind of trapped inside her own self. And so it goes on, and at one point she says, when she was homesick all the time, quisiera ser arbolito. So like those are different things about her being different as a child, right? So then it goes into her life. It talks about her childhood, and at a young age, La Niña Violeta está de luto. Her father dies, and as a result of her father dying, she needs to, she becomes very sad, and she needs to, oops, I skipped a page. She needs to actually stop going to school, and she needs to work for her mother and her family. So that is, and again it says like, La Niña Violeta debe dejar la escuela, desde ahora ayudará a su madre en el campo. Again, not complex sentences, not a complex story, but definitely something interesting for you to think about. In terms of her life and some sadness in her life and some things for you to pre-plan about. Also, it talks about her love life and her love life. She did have some different partners in her life, and so that does complicate it a little bit. And her first partner, she met in the, I've never heard this word before. I actually had to look it up. Ferroviario. So it could be railroad or railroad worker. And her first partner was a railroad worker. And at the end, it says, su marido, eso sí, no va nunca. Siempre está yendo y viendo, pero finalmente nunca llega a tiempo. So saying that at one point he did not come home. And then also another event in her life when she's traveling, and so it does talk about Violeta's travels in and out. So something else about it is that she also has this vision. Sorry, I was saying that Violeta traveled a lot. So she was in Chile, she would leave Chile, and one of the times when she was traveling, they talk about her having this vision of a bird dying. And what ends up happening is her actual daughter dies. So another point of like deep sadness in her life. So these events, they make clear, and that also, if you're talking with older children, you can talk about perhaps how they led to her deep sadness and how sad it was. And at the end of the story, it says, and also I'm not saying that you don't talk about these themes with younger children. And actually, with younger children, I love how they say this. It said, "La Violeta está cansada. Violeta is tired. La voz de su padre, su hija Rosita y su antigua muñeca resuenan en su aún canción." So she converts herself into a song. This is the story of Violeta Parra, a great folk singer from Chile. Her most famous song is Gracias a la Vida, which many of us in the United States think was sung by Joan Baez, but actually it was written and first composed by Violeta Parra. It's an incredible story to inspire young people to follow their heart if they're interested in music. It's a beautifully written story about the musician's complex life. And thanks for joining me this week. Next week I'll be back and I'll be talking about Darwin, un viaje al fin del mundo. Thanks again and have a great week.